cold. Good weather, though.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
This is Gutowski, City Councilman, and
DJ.
I profess not to know what DJ's up to.
I don't know. Nothing.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just looking up
Hey,
the
it's
internet.
good to have you back. We've been off. Listen, we've been off for Christmas,
Where have I been?
New Year's.
Where have you been?
Martin Luther King Day, and
This is crazy. Why am I here?
what can you do, though?
I don't know.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. We're glad to be back finally, and things are getting back to normal.
I just wondered on the viaduct situation. It's been 7 years. What's going on with that?
On the viaduct?
Yeah.
Well, not much, except it's progressing. The steps that are being taken are very slow until the final report on, when the state actually starts construction and everything. But everything is working slowly towards, the bridge is going to be, as it is now, going to probably be demolished. And then the interchange will be built. They're still in various phases of the final design concept. And council is being asked to take certain steps along the way to keep the process going. But outside of that, there's nothing really new to report. I could probably ask being now that I'm president, we can have a study session with council and find out, just where we are in the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, that's been close to, 2010, something like that?
Yeah. Well, what they're waiting for is when they get the final design and the funds come in and all that, and then, when the money's actually in the bank and the project's been cleared, then, they'll start taking steps, which will be, unfortunately, probably the elimination of the bridge, and then they'll start the actual interchange project and some of the infrastructure along 12th Street, the sidewalks.
No solid date yet.
Not yet, no.
Anything. No.
All righty then.
I'll try to keep it. You know what? I'll mark that down for a future study session, and just so we can keep the public up to date. Because, like I say, it's a long process. It's
They're going to do this and that, and then it dies down, and it just...
Well, a lot of it's so behind-the-scenes stuff. It's like, the engineers are working on, they'll take a couple steps forward, and something will present itself that they want to take a look at, and then everything is slow because it involves the state and the local and the feds and all that. But it's progressing towards getting done. It just that, when's the final date going to be? It's kind of like the 19th Street tracks. Remember that project? Sir? Yeah, you know how long it took for that, or different other projects along the way that you wondered when they were finally going to do it. And I'm like you. I like to, once we made a decision, let's get it done. But
Okay.
At this point, it'll happen when it happens.
it's going to happen. It's just I couldn't tell you when, though. But I'll try to get you an update, and maybe kind of like a rough target date when they're talking about it.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a lot more of the sooner than later at its attitude.
All righty.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I know for years on the bridge project.
Yeah.
There's still some people that would like to save it.
I haven't heard much from that group lately.
Well, they're still trying to actively do it, but the problem is that a lot of decisions have been made that now are going to be monetary.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon. I don't know what the other people are going to talk about today, but I got my 2017 City of Erie recycling calendar a couple weeks ago, and I checked it out today, and I found out that we're having an electronics recycling drop-off day on Saturday, May 6th, 2017, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the City Garage, 1926 Holland Street.
Right.
I said to myself, that's great. But then I looked next to it, and it says we're having a City of Erie tire recycling drop-off day. And lo and behold,
it's the same day?
Same day and the same hours. Now, our mayor is a chemist. Doesn't he realize how backed up the traffic is going to get? We're going to have fouled up atmosphere that year from all the cars running idling in line, and if anybody needs a first responder in that territory around the city garage is going to be in trouble maybe, and fire trucks and ambulances might not be able to get to him in time. Why would he have two recycling areas in the same place for 100,000 people for only 4 hours?
I don't know. I'm going to ask about that, but I would have thought they'd been on a different day too. I know you can bring tires and electronics, but I wonder how the logistics is going to work. Because
once again, it's on the east side.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to do this on Green Garden. And to be realistic about this, why can't we have 3 or 4 drop-off places on that day? And then why can't they do it at least twice a year, if not 3 times a year? Why is it all just in one day for 100,000 population?
You know, interestingly, I was down in Allentown. I go there a lot. Mm-hmm. They have kind of this is weird, but it's not bad. In fact, they don't even eliminate people from out of the city there. I'd like to check into whether they make money on this, but they have a site where you can drive in. It's under camera. It's open, you know, but it's very neat in there. I mean, it's not messy.
Right.
And they have numerous bins. And the bins cover everything from cardboard to plastics to glass.
I've
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have electronics. That I don't know, sir. Or tires. But, you know, when you think about that, that's, you know, it's kind of a moneymaker for the city.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They should have it with a little bit more care. Now, the way I see it, we're going to have another year of all kind of electronic and tire lawn ornaments again.
Yeah, and that's what happens. I think we have to look at it. I'm going to ask. Maybe we can have. Maybe that's another study session council can have with them. And
I guess you're going to have to let this go because it's only about 97 days away. It's on May 6th. But
I mean, it's something to think of in the future because.
Can we at least have another one in September, October, maybe?
I'll tell you the problem. I do a lot of traveling with my kids out of town, and I've been, quite frankly, missing every one of these recycling days. And I wouldn't mind having a couple of them, you know, where you can like get rid of. Like I know I got a couple TVs at home that should be gone, a few tires, you know. And like you say, you know, if they don't get them there that day or they get frustrated, they're going to end up on the lawns or down in some creek valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's appalling. We're supposed to be an all-American city.
I'm going to actually. I have to talk to the recycling director either today or tomorrow. I have a couple questions to ask her about how to get rid of certain items.
I mean, you know, you're talking about the mayor's salary and her salary. That's at least $150,000, not including their perks. And this is the best plan they can come up with: 2 recycling incidents on the same day at the same time, same hour.
Is that part of the county one, or is that a separate one? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
I got to check because I think the county has one too. But you know, the one year I remember they had it up at I think it was a newspaper office.
Okay.
And people were bringing in refrigerators. Of course, you had to have the Freon out of it, you know.
Right.
But it was a good idea because it sure cleared up a lot of stuff.
Believe me, I believe in recycling, but you got to make it a little bit easier for the people than have it all at the same time, the same day.
Well, I agree with you too, and I know I have issues with the spring cleanup. I think I know the timing is critical because of they're going from plowing to what do you call it, street work.
Right.
But you know, with a large volume of college kids in this town. And, you know, they leave at a different time frame than when the cleanup is. We haven't been able to get in their heads that they need to throw their articles out earlier, you know.
Right.
In some cases they can't, so I don't know why we can't time it better for the, I mean, not that I'm catering to college kids, but all that stuff's going to end up out in the street again.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and I was hoping maybe City Council can take some action on this or whatever.
Well, we're actually looking for a lot of topics this year to talk about.
Okay, well, this might be one of them.
Yeah, I think that it merits a nice. Well, during one of our study sessions, we can, you know, talk around and have people, you know, contact the councilman, tell them what they think about the, you know, project. Maybe there's something we can do. But right now, I got marked down. Your idea is to have 2 days, and not
you know,
tires and electronics on the same day.
separate them. I don't know why we can't have even 3 or 4 collections here. Use a couple city trucks or bring in these tire companies with their semis and.
Well, you know what I think would be a nice idea, and this is my suggestion, is to find a big place somewhere.
Right.
Something like, well, you'd have to get permission from the owners, let's say, but something as big like a plaza parking lot that's not being used, and, a place where you can get the traffic off the street, at least, corkscrewing a little bit, and maybe set up like multiple sites where you could drop off, 2 or 3 lanes with tires and 2 or 3 lanes with electronics, so you can move it faster,
Well, I hate to say this, but we're going to have a big space available here pretty soon when Kmart goes out of business on the East Grandview Plaza there.
Yeah, I think you need something bigger than that, but that's a good starting point. Something like that, a big parking lot where someplace where we can find some empty space where you can get the people off the street.
Right.
I noticed this when my daughter went to college in Duquesne. They had a weird plan where, you remember how when kids move into Gannon, they got the streets all blocked off and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Well, what they did was they decided to leave all the cars in on campus, but they derived a plan for 2 days that you would go down one-way streets inside the campus and everything. But the whole plan was get them inside the campus, get them off the street, and just control the situation slowly,
Okay, well, that's all I got to say.
Well, I like your ideas, and I think, that's something we got to talk about and try to, convince the administration to reconsider how they do it. 'Cause I know every year I miss the recycling. I do.
I'm looking on the website trying to find the actual.
And I'll talk to Sarah whether that's the county has one too, I thought, but I'll check with her.
Maybe she can combine it with the county or something, but I just thought I'd bring it up, and it's up to the city hall officials how they want to run it.
It'd be nice if you could get like one of the mall parking lots for a while, if you get permission on an off day or something.
Yeah.
Okay, nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
See, those are nice ideas, and I know every year I miss the electronic one.
Yeah.
And then and then it comes down to you either got to pay to bring it somewhere professionally, and how many people are going to do that?
Yeah, I know.
I may be willing to do it, but you find what do we call it, the TV farm on the sidewalk, along with the couches.
I actually saw one last week. I was like, oh, it begins.
Yeah, it gets bad. Well, yeah, I saw this recycling place in Allentown. It was a nice, and they didn't care whether you were from out of town or not.
Yeah.
But they had cameras, so if you wanted to be a pig, they got you on camera, But it's amazing when
Don't be a pig. They just need to put a sign
when you
up.
see a place that's being well run, it puts like good habits into people. Because now you got a place to dump it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is throw the cardboard like in a big, what do you call it, dumpster.
Dumpster, yeah.
But it was amazing how many containers they had down there. They had colored glass, white glass,
Yeah.
plastics, newspapers, cardboard. I didn't notice if they had tires. I really didn't, but it's a good idea, though.
Yeah, still looking here.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's going on?
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling better now that I can see you on TV again.
Why? Oh, you're back now, huh?
Yeah, Spectrum took it over, and
Yeah.
you're back on the old Channel 9.
Oh, we
I
are?
think is 91.4 on digital.
Did they switch us?
They're moving things around. We don't even get updates yet.
Oh, they are moving things around?
They
already?
seem to be.
I said Spectrum now.
Yeah, I know. We didn't even, I don't think we even got, I haven't seen any upgrades come through the mail, have you?
Yeah, I get them, but I disregard most of them because I have a bunch of digital, and I don't pay that extra $1.50 a month for that piece of plastic junk that they want you to tap into your TV.
Yeah.
What's that? You mean the
little converter box.
Little adapter box, so you got to call in and.
At first they were like, it's free, and then they were like, oh, it's only going to cost $1.50, and then all of a sudden it's $5.
after the trial period?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll give you one for every TV set you have and all that, and it's free for X amount of time. Then they come and say you pay $1.50 a month for each one. And
I quite frankly, I don't know what to expect. Well, this is Spectrum, I think, is a division of Charter. So I'm not quite sure what to expect out of all this, but I'm waiting to see because, for all the complaints we had about Time Warner,
Well, they just changed the name.
Yeah, but you know what? There's also, I'm a little fearful that because it's a different corporation now, they might look at certain channels as not relevant to their.
But they're stealing them one by one and dumping them.
What do you mean?
To buy the complete package and pay for it, but you get all kinds of sales pitches because these people selling this stuff are paying them big bucks, and you get all those channels for nothing.
But I want to see how they tailor their special packages. You know, like with Time Warner, they were adding a lot of channels at the end that.
Well, yeah, I have the sports channel, I got Disney Channel, and the sports channel really let me down this week.
It's like, you know, I enjoy watching the Cavaliers, and I do hope they keep it, you know.
Yeah, they're on Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, you're always getting good basketball and everything.
But you know, Time Warner had a, what do you call it, an Ohio presence?
Yeah,
So-
they still do.
So I'm hoping Spectrum does too, you know.
Well, so far.
Yeah, but if they don't, then that's, like I often, you know, I get approached by the satellite people all the time.
Well, I did that Verizon too.
And you've been approached by Verizon?
Yeah, I get Verizon. You can tap into your phone line and get cable too.
I never got approached by them.
Well, don't you get a phone bill?
Yeah.
Or maybe you just pay yours off down there at City Hall.
No, mine is pretty much done electronically though, so.
Well, see, then you're not getting all the advertisements.
Yeah, my wife has it set up so, you know, we paid electronically, but yeah, I'm going to have to look because the big thing I don't like about satellite is...
You get weather and it knocks it...
Yeah, that too, but the fact that a couple of channels they have in their package, like, you know, I looked at this package I thought was interesting, but it had one of the channels my wife likes wasn't on there, and one of the channels I like wasn't available either.
I watched Turner Classics, and I watched the Animal Channel and the History Channel, and there's not much good on there. It's all garbage today.
See, I like the what do you call it, the history channels.
But I'm getting sick of seeing Josie Wales.
Yeah, I don't even why. Well, Clint Eastwood's banned in my house.
He was on the History Channel the other night.
Yeah, I banned him because. For various reasons I'll talk to you privately about, but he does not get seen on my TV no more.
You know, you were talking about recycling days?
Yeah.
There's Wagner, who's running for governor.
Yeah.
You know, that's where he made his millions.
What, recycling?
Recycling products.
Well, I'll tell you, there was a band, a BAND, right?
Yeah.
A high school marching band out of Bradford that had their own recycling center.
Well,
And they made enough
when I
money.
went to East, that was back in the 60s.
What, you guys had one?
Yeah.
But I mean, you can make a lot of money off recycling.
Well, sure. I contacted City Hall and all that. The cardboard and everything they're throwing in, dry cardboard, dry paper, newspapers, you got good money for it.
Well, it was Mark Guy Finley that used to chastise the city during Joyce's administration.
Yeah.
And he would say that was at the time when, I don't remember if you remember, the government had this money and they were going to let every community decide.
Giving out all these awards.
Yeah, how they wanted to do it. Some communities went out and they got these trucks that the people cycled on the spot and the trucks took the stuff and you know did it that way. We voted to just buy these big dumpster trucks.
With recycling money that was appropriated.
Right, and we went the other way where Mark thought we should have went with those little canisters and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, cited it right at the, like have you put your cans in one drawer and put your stuff in the other drawer and then the truck comes by and recycles and the city takes a lot of money. We get reimbursed, but it comes off our...
You're not getting that much.
No, what happens is we take it out to the what do you call it, the transfer stations.
Yeah, and they're supposed to transfer everything, and you're not getting the actual worth.
No, because they're charging us for they got to when we throw all that stuff in there, they got to recycle it there on the spot.
Right.
So that we get charged for that. but it comes off our tipping fees slightly, you know.
Yeah, but your tipping fees are going up every year.
For sure, because there's only one place, where you got to go. You got to go out to Summit Mountain out there, right?
Yeah, you go out to Waste Management.
But, yeah, I think it's something in the future. I mean, everybody says, oh, no. You know, we got to start looking at stuff like that and saying, you know, is there a way to make money off recycling? If it, you know, at least study it and say, you know what, we looked at it, it's not going to work for Erie.
You can call up and see what aluminum's going for a pound, what white glass is going, what cardboard is going, and dry newspapers.
I recycle my own cans, and
You'll be in for a shock.
hey, I recycle my own cans, you know, and what I found out.
And you're surprised with the money you get.
Well, that's my money for that. You know, when I have my camera hobby or something, or you know, there's something I want to do that. You know, that's like extra money in the bag, and all I got to do is take all the pop cans, you know, or other beverage cans, and just recycle them.
True.
You know, I put them in a barrel on the side of my house, and then I take them down, you know, every couple months. And you know, what does it take, you know?
And you're surprised at the price you get back, huh?
Well, I was surprised what I used to get until the city got into business. Remember?
Yeah. Well.
You know, that tightened up the market a little bit, but you still can make a pretty good buck out there.
Well, you can see people going up and down looking for bags of cans.
Yep, and in the plumbing, when I was the accountant for a plumbing company, they used to take all their scrap, and you would be surprised that would like take care of the Christmas party and other stuff.
Yeah, well, where I worked, we took our scrap down in great big dumpsters, and our return was $10,000-$20,000.
Oh yeah, it is amazing. I mean,
Per visit.
Yeah, you wonder why people collect scrap along the street.
Yeah. But talking about signs, there's a sign on the East Avenue where the overpass is, the bridge. I think it says Tullio, a plated sign, and we have one for State Assemblyman Bernard Harkins on Franklin Avenue. You can't even see them.
You mean campaign signs?
There were plates, like a donate. You know, the road was donated to them, the bridge, the area.
Oh, you mean like official signs?
Yeah.
Like a plaque?
There's one at Franklin. Where's it on Franklin Avenue?
Right down there where GE used to go.
On the north or south end?
It would be on the north end.
Okay.
On the west side, it's Harkins.
Okay, and then the East Avenue overpass.
It used to be. It's on the north side. I think that's a Tullio sign.
Oh, what's wrong with them?
You can't see them.
Okay, I'll take a look at them.
And they're dirty. They're green.
Is that overpass? I think that's the one that.
No, not the overpass that used to go over there. If you're going to go to, I guess it was McKinley Park in that area.
Yeah.
Down at the end of the road where it's no longer in existence.
Yeah, I remember that sign. It didn't have all the councilmen on it too, right?
Yeah. So, what can I tell you?
Yeah, that'd be a project for some fraternities to clean up like they used to years ago.
Yes.
There was a time when they used to clean all the statues in the park and all that.
In a way so the signs can be seen. You know, leave the Pintia alone.
Yeah, some of those signs, it's amazing how many come up missing.
Oh yeah, people just take them all away and whatever.
Well, I know when we do repairs, we lose them.
You know, I was going through a bunch of signs the other day, and I found a Canavino sign.
Wow.
For mayor.
But you know what? None of the kids know who these guys are anyway.
Hey, kid, I know who you are.
The young generations don't even know who these guys are. I had somebody ask me one time, who's Tullio? Who's Canavino, you know?
Canavino sign was a license plate, and it's in enamel.
Wow.
But, you know, who was him? Oh, he was that guy that walked with a peg leg and used to say, hey, kid, what are you doing?
You know, it's a shame that the museum doesn't have a section like for...
Politicians?
Well, not just for that, but, you know, old political campaigns, how they, evolved, the use of pins and all that.
True.
Because it's interesting for a lot of people to see, and then different landmarks of Erie that have been destroyed over the years.
Yeah, like old cannons that used to be on Upper Peach Street. And
On Upper Peach.
yeah, right in the top of the hill over Bayview. There's a cannon out there. Where'd that go?
Wait a minute, where?
On 2nd and Peach. Over the park there.
2nd and Peach.
Yeah.
It overlooks the...
Yeah, there was a cannon there?
Yep.
I almost remember that.
On Peach Street.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that one, John. You sure it wasn't Cascade?
No, it was Peach Street.
What was it honoring?
I think it was Commodore Perry.
I know there was a marker at 2nd and Cascade for the shipyard.
Yeah, down from Silver's Junkyard.
Yeah, but I don't remember one on Peach Street.
Right on top of the hill. It was sit there. Who knows where that went? It's just like Mario caught the ones out at Lakeside Cemetery that were made out of silver.
I know that the Historical Society took the original ones out of the park. The Wayne cannons?
Yeah, and took them out to the Coast Guard station.
They're gone, but because the ones out there now, you can move them with your hand pretty much.
They're not the real thing. The ones that used to be in the park, they were cemented shut.
Rumor has it that one of the original cannon from Perry is at the Coast Guard station in Cleveland.
Could be.
But I never had anybody confirm or deny that. But because after the fleet was stripped, those cannons went different places.
True.
The military took them back.
Yeah, just like the ones that were over Lakeside Cemetery.
Yeah, those are original Spanish cannons, though.
Yeah, those were silver. All silver.
Yeah, I was wondering how, over the years they complained about, they were going to be thefted in the park, but you go to Waterford and you got to know where to look. But if you come to that cemetery when you're coming down Route 8,
yeah,
there's a little mortar there.
Yes.
A little Civil War mortar, and it's been there for years.
Yeah.
Somehow that's never been stolen,
There's George Washington in his British outfit.
Yeah, no one's stolen that one yet, right?
Who wants to steal George Washington's figure?
Yeah, it's interesting though. Those cannon, for years, I just honest to God, John, I don't remember it. I have to ask somebody some of my historical buddies if they remember that on 2nd and Peach. I don't.
Tell you to get a hold of Rumble, but he just died.
Who?
Bobby Rumble.
Oh.
His dad used to be the last hard hat diver in the lake. He worked with Dibo. Joe Dibo?
Yeah, I remember that name.
So, and then along with McAllister and...
I got a couple of people I hang around with in my historical side.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask them if they remember, because, honestly, John, I just don't remember,
I don't know any Nolans are alive yet. They would have told you. And we just lost one here recently. The one that used to come down and bust your chops all the time.
Who was that?
Oh, he always sat in the front seat till he got sick. I can't think of his name offhand.
We had a lot of characters in the old days. I miss a lot of them.
Yeah, Nolan's, Rumbles, Gutowski's, the whole shot. But I think we ought to take our general funds money and make another designation, call it appropriation fund.
What's that for?
Well, that way you can appropriate it and not just take something and say we're going to take the money out of the general funds. You submit an appropriation and then you have council bid on or vote on what the appropriations is going for. This way you'll be able to track everything you're spending.
Hey, John, weren't there some anchors over there by the dock, too, at one time?
The who?
Some big anchors?
Yeah. In fact, where they got Wolverine Park now, Wolverine Boat used to be by that little creek.
Yeah. Well, that boat is actually in the museum now.
Well, that boat was a steel hull.
Yeah, but that prow that you talk about?
Yeah.
That's at the Nautical Museum.
But we used to play that when we were kids.
Yeah, we all did. But we all wondered what happened to the rest of the ship, remember?
Yeah,
And then you heard the story about how they scrapped it during the war.
they were cutting it up.
But that prow is, you ever been to the new museum, John?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you should take it in someday. It's really a nice, it's next to the library there.
Yeah.
It's really a nice museum. I mean, they've done a nice job trying to explain the battle, and there's even an original cannonball in there that floated on the shore near Toledo,
Oh, good.
that the wave action took near Sandusky, where the battle was fought. Because there's probably a lot of lead down there in the lake bed somewhere.
There's a lot of lead in our lake anyways.
Well, I mean, but all the shells are fired in those days.
Well, the lead I'm talking about is sinkers.
Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, you go in there and they actually moved that whole prow of the Michigan, the Wolverine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's in there. It's its own section. So it's still there, John. It's not destroyed. Wasn't stolen.
Oh, that's just like we used to have one of the best fish aquariums in the state.
I remember that one. Wasn't that down by the dock?
That was there right down by the water department.
Yep, I remember that. But
It had 2 stories,
they talk about bringing it back, but
and it had one species of every fish. So, but I'm going to get out of here. They had somebody
Okay.
else come in and squawk. So
I was just about to kick.
no problem. But maybe we can bring back that aquarium someday.
good. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
They keep talking about it, but it's a tremendous cost.
Yeah.
But
There's lots of recycling information online for Erie County.
Really?
Erie County itself is open to anybody in Erie County, and they have a whole schedule. There's 1, 2, 3,
electronics
4,
too?
5, 6. There's like 10, 12, 13 pickup dates for electronics and hazardous waste.
we'll check into it.
Yeah, so we should probably get a list so we can kind of tell people what some places charge money, some don't.
We'll mark them down. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Cass.
Hey, hang on one second. Yeah, we'll mark them down, and then we announce the dates.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Erie City stuff, and he's right. Both of those dates were the same for the tires and
That's
the
kinda
TVs,
bad.
so we got to figure that out. Yeah,
I'll get Sarah to give me a list from the county maybe and see
I got
what
to
we
talk
can
to
do.
her anyway. So
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that you talked about the recyclables on the electronic stuff.
yeah,
And maybe what you could do is have one at each of the college sites, one at Mercyhurst, one at Gannon, and one at see if Penn State would be involved in it. That way the kids can put their stuff in that they're not going to take with them into their recyclables. Maybe have somebody from the engineering departments that might be able to assess the equipment that's being turned in electronically to see if it can be reused or restored and reused by some of the schools.
no, that would be great.
That's not a bad idea either.
They get somebody that has some electronic knowledge. I know what they do. They try to tear them down because some of those circuit boards are actually gold plate. They've got used gold for the circuitry.
Yep.
So they take them to reclaim the gold, but it's a high-end process, and it's not something the common person can do.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
They actually, go ahead.
I was just going to say it puts, the problem in the college's hands when they're the ones that create a lot of the garbage, especially when kids are going home.
You're saying have a separate pickup with them.
Yeah, a separate pickup for them, or work out something where they are responsible for taking care of it, and it cuts down maybe on some of their refuse pickups.
So you're saying, Doc, maybe when their kids leave, we should have a program there maybe.
Maybe instead of having the electronic recycling day on the same day the tires are, have another date and have everything turned in, and then what they pull up from the colleges, then that could all be gathered and taken to one location.
You'd have to have them cooperate,
Yeah.
With Gannon, that'd probably be a little tough with their campus, but like Mercyhurst and Penn State, especially Penn State, I think they have a lot more room where, after the kids leave and it's a little empty, we could probably do it.
Well, and if you can, I don't know if you can do this, but have, like, say, a $1 charge so that not only will you be getting an item, but you can collect a little money to cover the cost of transporting them to a new location.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That would be great. I actually know an electronics recycling company that will take an entire pallet. Anything you can fit on a pallet, they'll take for $45.
Really?
And I actually have this guy's contact information, and I wanted to talk to Sarah to see if we could work with them, because they offered to come to CAT and pick up a bunch of stuff, and I didn't really have much. But
It's too bad you guys don't have like a huge area where...
our area is filled with sale stuff right now.
No, I mean if you had like a big parking lot somewhere.
Oh, yeah. But this is a great idea, Doc. I do like that. I know you got some TVs you want to get rid of.
Well, you know what they brought up, Doc? They were talking about, Best Buy takes recycling and some, but
Not TVs.
yeah. See, that's the problem is, you
Army
can.
won't either. Nobody takes TVs anymore.
No, that's the trouble. You can bring everything up there, but your monitors and stuff like that.
Erie County will take TVs, but it's 20 cents a pound. So if you know,
Staples would do some too, but you might have to call them to see what they will take.
Yeah.
As well.
20 cents a pound, you said, right?
20 cents a
But
pound.
what does the private ones charge during the regular year?
Well,
I
they
don't
charge
know.
$25 plus anything over 100 pounds is I think a little more higher fee.
Where's that? If you go to like a private place?
But that's that place on Green Garden.
So 20 cents a pound isn't bad, probably.
No, but
not,
that's after you pay the $25.
No, I'm talking about,
Yeah, Erie County.
he's talking about Erie County charge you 20 cents a pound
Yeah.
on their recycling day.
Right.
But the trouble is when you have these recycling days, my God, the traffic there is tremendous.
Yeah. I agree with that caller there that you got the tires and the electronics. You're going to have nothing but a long line going up French Street there to get in there.
I'll tell you what the ultimate solution would be, and this would take, I don't know if we can find a parking lot that big, but if the mall, let's say, would cooperate one day, and you could get everybody off of Peach Street, and you just have them circling the parking lot inside at least, like in a serpentine way,
Yeah.
and maybe have drop-off stations along the way a little bit.
Hey, there's a huge empty fenced-in parking lot over on like 10th and Payne. I don't know whose it is.
10th and Payne,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I think it's
completely empty. There's absolutely nothing in it. It's fenced up. Why can't we find out?
That's what we need. We need some like even, well, Liberty Plaza's too small, but, a huge parking lot that's relatively unused, and then at least for one day or 2 days, work with the owners
Yeah.
and get the people off the street at
Maybe
least.
even a church, because I know a church in Ohio,
That does it?
they have a recycling / Goodwill pickup where they just let them they park a trailer there, and people bring their stuff in anytime and just bring it to them. So we could talk to
Because it's
some
even getting tough
churches.
taking it to Salvation Army. They don't want junk anymore.
Salvation, nobody
You
takes
can't blame them
TVs.
because
Yeah, and
people
nobody
bring
wants
them
junk.
what they can't get rid of,
Yeah.
Maybe you could even coordinate it with the colleges. They want to do some what's called not civil, but community outreach program.
Yeah.
Them volunteer to work at the parking lot to direct cars for certain things. Maybe television go to one place, computers go to another place, or however you want to separate them, so you don't have to. They can be more defined.
Yeah, I think, even if you did at the very least, you put 3 or 4 dumpsters on campus somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
and, even told the public, on certain hours, certain days, they could come in too, at least like the immediate neighborhood or something,
Something like that. That would be a lot more helpful than what the way they got it set up right now to do it.
Well, yeah, we got to think beyond the box because you know what? All this stuff, and it all comes down to, and I don't know how it works in Mill Creek anymore, but it used to be, you could put so many items out there in Mill Creek on so many days or some. It was a lot more convenient. Well, we don't have that. We have the one month that we do the spring cleanup. But, if you're out of town or something, that doesn't work, We got to start thinking outside, because all this stuff, if you look around the city, ends up in fields, it ends up on sidewalks, and it's all part of the blight issue then. So, we got to start thinking different ways of doing it.
Well, it takes some coordination, that's for sure. And
I'm sure if we formed a committee of people in the recycling business that could make money off this, everybody makes money, everybody's happy. Some people like Sarah and on,
oh, there you go.
and then let them come up with brainstorming ideas.
Well, this company that I was talking about, they're out of Buffalo and Rochester and Brockport, New York, which I actually used to live in. I've been trying to get them together with the city for a couple of months now.
And they'll
to talk
buy
about
stuff,
it.
just put it
Yeah,
on.
they will. No, you pay them $45.
Yeah.
But it's cheap, and if you have enough stuff and they make money off of it, sometimes they won't charge you. So we could probably work a deal out with them.
Hey, even if you charge everybody like $1 or $2 to
They want to
drop
open a
off.
branch closer to Ohio. They're trying to get into Ohio, and I said
Well, if
Erie.
everybody gives you $1 or $2.
Yeah, I said Erie would be a perfect location for a recycling center because we have a lot of junk.
And that's something we got to look at, whether we're really making money off recycling.
Yeah,
or even if it's going to be a cost, let's keep the cost as low as possible.
Yeah, and sometimes you shouldn't worry about the money because you just got to do what's right. Sometimes you just got to recycle and maybe take a loss.
I'm going to actually check into that one in Allentown, how it works, but
Yeah.
it was an amazing site. I thought it was under the city, but,
Yeah.
you know,
The only drawback that I could see to that, having any volunteers or places to drop it off, is liabilities, for injuries or anything like that may occur during the drop-offs.
Yeah.
I mean, when people bring them.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's what
but-
I mean. If you bring them,
But you got to, how did I keep hearing ways we always can't do stuff, but how does these other towns do it and they don't seem to have problems, Mm-hmm. I mean, we used to have, Doc, I don't know if you remember, when I was a kid, you go to the incinerator,
right?
and you would back your car as close to the pit as possible. Oh, this is true.
And hopefully not go too far.
Well, they would tell you, you stay back, okay?
God.
And they would move a plate,
Yeah.
literally, and, you dump it right there, and the workers would push it down into the pit.
Do they look because is that where the bodies all go?
Actually, they had a place for animal carcasses. A little one?
Yeah.
Where they dispose them when you had roadkill?
I know.
But, no, I mean, it's amazing how much people would... Well, then what happened was people were starting to bring, like, aerosol cans, and they warned them, it's only supposed to be for paper, wood products.
Yeah.
But now you can't do it because you got emission issues,
Yeah.
They couldn't keep the incinerators going properly with, all the regulations.
Well, we got an incinerator right down here on
If you
Front
remember,
Street.
Chaz, you remember those days we were back the pickup truck, you have to watch that the tailgate didn't fall off down there. You have to go down and bring it back up.
Yeah. Well, you remember when we used to dump the stuff at the old dump down below the Soldiers and Sailors home?
Yeah.
You and I did that with the, I'm not going to say what agency, but remember? And it was legal, though, because the city ran the place.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing that was about that place down here, Cash.
What?
That was the most beautiful road in the whole city of Erie. They never dug that road up.
You mean the one when they paved over it?
No, they drove down that road. There was no potholes, no
Oh, yeah.
cutouts or anything in that road. They never had to dig it up.
This was a huge dump. Oh.
Really?
Yeah, big member, Doc? It was a big dump.
Yep, it was. But and you have to watch when a wet day, that your foot didn't get anything.
Yeah, a couple trucks got stuck in there, but
This used to be over by Soldiers and Sailors.
it was over the hill, over the bluff.
Yeah. Wow.
And what they did, that's all landfill now for the Bayfront Highway.
Right. Wow.
They paved over. You probably drive over it now.
Every day.
Right, Doc?
Yep. Hey, DJ.
Yes.
Give me a call when you can, okay? I have that little item for you here to pick up.
Okay, I'm in town and I'll be here this week and this weekend, so yep, no problem.
Okay, we'll try to get get it out of my way here.
Hey, if it helps you, I'll take whatever you got.
Okay, and I wish you the best of everything as the president now.
Well, pray for me, because
I'm glad you're the president, because
Why?
I heard some orange guy was president.
I'm actually, I'm going to test the theory whether I should be in D.C., but we'll find out. No, that's just a rumor.
Okay, all right.
See you, Doc.
See you, Doc.
See, a lot of good
Yeah.
ideas are coming out of this. But
No, yeah, this is a lot of good stuff.
this is what Mark I. Finley talked about, about we needed to make money off this process.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Years ago, the city dump used to be on Elm Street.
Yeah, I heard that one, too. That's somebody told me that over where present-day Walmart is, right?
Yep.
Wasn't there a Little League field there, too, they built then years later?
What?
So that was a city dump, right?
It was.
An interesting story out of that. Did you live in that area?
Yes.
A friend of mine lived down there. He was one of the East Side Italians, they called him.
We used to go down and watch the firemen try to put out underground fires.
Oh, because of the stuff that was in there.
Yep.
Wow.
Everything.
Tell me if this story was true. He told me he was one of the East Side Italians that lived down there near Duccini's.
Yep.
He said that was an Indian burial ground one time.
I don't know.
He said they found some interesting artifacts in there when they were digging up,
I don't know how they could
could find stuff with all that garbage there.
Yeah, it must have been maybe over more, away from the... How far was that? Was it pretty much the site we know was Walmart, or was it bigger?
It went from Elm Street all the way back to the tracks
Wow.
and further. I don't think the tracks were there.
So it was where Walmart was, though, right?
Hills.
Pardon?
Hills Department Store.
Ah, yeah. Wow. Now, it didn't go past the street there, actually, right?
The whole area.
Ooh.
I'm 84 years old because I remember that.
Wow, yeah, that goes back probably when that was not a developed part of the city much.
No, all fields. Okay, I just wanted to get my...
Well, I like hearing those stories because, I heard over the years that was a dump, and then they built Little League fields there, and then, of course, Hills, but the whole city had dumps, and, well, they're finding them now in different areas. As the suburban area moves out, they're finding where they dump the stuff.
Yep. Okay, have a good day.
You too, and thank you. If you're 84, you're in pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, whenever it is.
85 in 2 more months.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay,
Cool.
have a good day.
You too. So he says the Walmart area used to be a dump. Mm-hmm. Some would argue it still is today. But
You're bad.
I know.
Go ahead, caller.
Sorry.
Hey, Cash.
Yes.
Why can't you get the Boy Scouts to take care of those plaques? They get a merit badge for that kind of thing, don't they?
There you go.
You probably could. I never thought about it. That's probably some... I have a couple friends that are still in scouting. Maybe that is a good project for them.
Maybe you should get a hold of Joe Isaacs.
He does it? Oh, you mean Joe? My good friend Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Holy Rosary.
He's a Boy Scout master.
I didn't know that. I know he was big in the Legion with me. It's the same Joe Isaacs. He's with me in the Legion. I think, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he's over at Holy Rosary. Yeah, Joe's a good guy. That's why he works with the Boy Scouts on other projects. I'll talk to him about maybe getting the plaques clean.
Yeah.
I'll see him Sunday at church for sure.
Okay, take a good idea and use it.
Yeah, because he's real. He's done a lot of work with veterans on trying to. He sends coupons over to them so that their families can use them. Like if you got colored coupons, the ones that come in the inserts in the paper, even though they're expired, the military can use them overseas.
Oh wow!
At the USO, so don't throw them away, Joe. If that's that Joe I'm thinking of, he'll take them.
Nice.
But he does a lot of good work in the Legion too. So, thank you for calling, though.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
That's cool. Yeah, let's put those Boy Scouts to work. Maybe we could
they
use
are
them.
looking for,
We could use them for extra help when we do an electronics
also
recycling.
like if you're throwing away old flags.
Yeah. You're not supposed to, right?
Well, they burn them, but they burn them at an official ceremony.
It's got to be a ceremony.
You can call me, and I will. If you know anybody who wants to get rid of them, I will find.
You're talking about material flags or like
cloth
just
flags.
real cloth flags.
Yeah, because they will have a ceremony where they actually in the ceremony you cut each stripe out.
Oh wow!
And there's a ceremony goes along with it.
Is there something about a boot and salt, or is that something else?
No, that's
Oh,
I think that's a chair of the MIA chair.
Okay.
With the salt and what else?
Yeah. There's like a boot. And
but if you've ever been to a
rose
flag
and salt.
burning,
Yeah.
they're very solemn. Like
Yeah.
they will, after a while they'll throw them all in, but the first few they'll do very ceremoniously.
Okay.
And then the kids will cut them up, and that's the way you have to do it the proper way.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea. But
I know how to keep myself from ever getting put to death if I'm ever on death row.
What?
My last request is going to be a pair of pants made out of a flag.
Well, how's that going to save?
They can't burn me up, especially if you're going to the electric chair.
They'll get around that. That's like the guy that kept ordering a meal and never stopping.
Oh yeah.
Eventually caught up to him.
All you can eat. Well, you got to stop at some point.
I'm sure they got. Well, first thing is you don't want to be caught in that situation.
No, never.
You wouldn't be, I don't think.
I'm pretty good now. 20 years ago, maybe not.
Look at our platter. We have covered.
I even wrote stuff down.
We have covered the bridge,
Yeah,
which I got to find out about.
yeah. I got lots of stuff
Electronics,
going
and
on
the
here.
big thing seems to be electronics today.
Yep, lots of electronics.
And the plaques.
Well, I'm going to go up with you and talk to. You said Sarah is in charge.
Yeah, I
of
gotta go up and
recycling?
talk to her, too.
I have to meet this person.
Hopefully she's there today.
Maybe we can find out about borrowing a lot to do a pickup. Maybe we can have more than one electronics
It
pickup.
would be nice if we could find someplace that's got a, not using it for that day.
Just look at all the empty properties in the city. Well, we'll get something.
Yeah, we need a place where we can get traffic off the street.
Yes.
While they're recycling it.
Yeah.
Then get it cleaned up properly.
Yep.
But I don't know if we got any, industrial park areas we can use. It's probably better if we stay off of grass, that we have.
Yeah, definitely stay off.
Because then you can
grass.
sweep it up and everything, but
Yeah. No, that would be good. I would like to see more availability for people to bring stuff.
I tell you, truthfully, I recycle my cans, and I'm surprised. My church is actually recycling paper.
Yeah.
Not magazines, paper.
Yeah.
It's going towards a roof fund. And, I bring in 2, 3, 4 sometimes, big piles
That's
of
right.
paper.
You just did that a few months ago, I remember. I wrote along.
But they don't make a lot of money off it like they used to.
Yeah.
Like when we had the GF site near it and we made shingles,
Yeah.
they used a lot of that newsprint.
Oh, wow.
They, chewed it up and made...
Worked it into the... Interesting.
Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hey guys,
Hey.
the big plaza, Kmart Plaza up on Grandview there, that's going to be empty soon.
Yeah, somebody brought that up because, basically you only have a few stores in the middle, and then you got the grocery store, I think, still empty. And then Kmart will be empty.
Yeah, they're all empty, so that'd be a good spot for it. It'd be off the street.
A property like that would be a great recycling center because people could bring stuff there and you can actually start to do the recycling process right there.
Yeah, you can go even along the side there, but anything that we can get the traffic off of the street, while we're, taking the stuff out. But I think it's a good idea, but, trying to convince, the people, the administration and the other, if we could work in conjunction with the county too.
You are now the administration part of it.
Well, technically, but, not technically, but,
Yeah.
indirectly, but,
Yeah.
we need to, I think, I'd like to look at whether there's money to be made in recycling.
There is. There really is.
You still there, sir? Oop, he must have, he's got a good idea, though.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, you know what? There it is again, Kmart Plaza comes up.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's places that are closing. Every day, something else is going
We don't
out.
want to see them close, though.
We don't want to see them close, but if they are, then we should take advantage of it.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, guys, I wanted to ask something I forgot. What happened to all the fish markets? We used to have a couple of fish markets, we could buy fresh fish.
Well, the last one I knew about, and I'm not saying it was, but the one was owned by the last fisherman, remember, Jerry something?
Okay.
I don't know what happened to him. He was actually the last licensed fisherman, too, I think. That could actually go out and catch them. The last commercial guy.
Somebody to come in and take his place?
Well, they had a group. Do you remember our our Sister City program?
Okay.
They had the people from Dungarvan, Ireland.
Right.
They opened up a fish market across from trying to think.
Yeah, 26 in Green Garden.
Yeah, you're right. Right across from, why can't I think of the name? Blessed Sacrament.
Right, and they would import from even the Atlantic.
Yeah, well, what I heard was when I met those guys, and they had a grand opening once, and we got to know them because of the Sister City with Jimmy Thompson. They told me that they had a relationship with some guys in the New England area near Boston, and they would take Lake Erie fish over there, and then they would bring back, like you said, Atlantic fish from over there, ocean fish, and it was working out good. But Doc, I got to believe it all comes down to they couldn't make money.
Well, there used to be a place on 6th and East Avenue, too.
I don't remember that. You're right, but I don't remember. That was a while back, wasn't it?
The only one that I first questioned, but they tell me it might not be what I thought it was. I thought it was a fish market.
Yeah.
It might be a pet fish place that goes, I think, by the name of Great Lakes Erie Reef up on Peach Street near Andy's Pub.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I think that somebody told me it pet store.
Well, you remember when we were in college, remember Tivis on State Street?
Yeah.
There was that little place next to, like near 13th and State. It was just a little place, Tivis Fish Market.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to believe, Doc, it's got to be market conditions that, people aren't willing to. If you look at the grocery stores, and like the ones in the city, and I hate to say this, but they don't have much fresh fish like at, the Tops on East 38th, et cetera.
They get the specialties fish neither. Like, I don't know if they have it. I've never, looked for it, but like your walleye or something,
Yeah. If you go out to like Wegmans and stuff, they probably have more fresh fish out there, but, and then you had Natalie, she used to ship it in at Erie County Farms, but...
That's gone. That's another location you can probably set up for recycling.
What, Erie County Farms?
Oh, yeah, that parking lot there.
Well, yeah, but you got a lot of businesses still there yet, so that's not like, it's only one store out of there, basically.
Hey, Doc, the Great Erie Reef is a pet store.
It is?
Yeah.
I just think, like, I know the guys that were here from Ireland, I forget what they named their place, they had quite a variety of fish, and I just got to believe, Doc, that at the end of the day, there's like a limited market here. It'd be interesting to talk to like Wegmans or some of the suburban grocery stores about how good they do with their fresh fish.
The other one was mentioned, and they're not open today, but they're Baniacs.
Yeah.
You might have it too.
What's what's them called? The big place that brings in for restaurants, they handle fresh fish, but they do it for restaurants,
Right.
And Doc, I think the only reason they don't have them, because I can't believe nobody would try one. I mean, they tried them here, but it just seems like there may not be a market enough to keep them going.
Well, that, or maybe with Scott Enterprises setting up down here, maybe they can get one of those stores down here for fresh fish some sort.
Well, I know there's not a lot of professional fishermen anymore on the United States side, I don't believe.
Okay.
We only had one, I think, out of Erie, and that was that Jerry guy, the last fisherman. And that was that's the one you were talking about, 6th and East Avenue, like.
Okay.
Remember by East High School?
Yeah, somewhere in that area, they told me.
Yeah, they called him the last fisherman. And outside of that, I think the Canadians have more fishermen, because it has to do with the gill nets and all that. But, I'll tell you, the guy to talk, I will tell you this. Eddie Kissel's the man. And I'll be talking to him shortly.
Yeah, I tried Sons of Lake Erie.
Yeah, that's him, Eddie. I'll talk to Eddie and see, if he can tell me why it didn't work out,
They're the ones that told me about, reminded me of 60th Avenue, and then they mentioned one on Peach Street that they couldn't think of the name. We drove by and we saw the name over the weekend. They were closed, but so I tried to call there. They don't have a phone number, and then I call Andy's, and he thinks it's actually a pet store, not a fish market.
Yeah.
Well, walleye is big out in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Huge out in Minneapolis and all Minnesota area. And, people like it here too, but it's just like, they'll buy it in restaurants and they'll buy it frozen, but...
Oh, what you don't hear about is muskie anymore here in Erie.
No, I just don't know why, maybe fresh markets can't make it. I'll ask Eddie. He should have a lot of background here, him or Jerry Scribzak.
Give me a call if you find out anything, okay?
Yeah, because I'll be seeing Eddie. I got to talk to him about another problem. And, they do a great job,
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I want a leprechaun to come over to my house to try to sell me one of those great big goldfish he caught.
Oh. But, those it was a shame. I looked one day and that Irish group was gone, and it was just, it got to be that, people just weren't buying.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. There's some place called Trocas.
Well, Trocas is still there.
Yeah, but it didn't really specialize in fish.
No, but these guys were right from Dungarvan.
Yeah.
And they set up shop here, and like Doc said, they used to. They had an outlet in New England. They drive back and forth.
Wow.
I'll let go so somebody else can call.
Yeah, we're going to be going off the air pretty soon, so.
Give me a call if you find out any place for me, will you?
Yeah, I'll probably report next week if I can get an answer from Mr. Kissel.
Thanks again for calling, Doc.
Give him the call, will you?
Yep.
I'll call you too.
Where's that? Oh.
And we're done.
So we got to, that's it? We got to
We
close
are
the show?
done. We're
I guess
closing
that-
up. We are-
Mike gave us the high side.
It's done.
Very productive.
Yeah, it was really productive.
So you and I, if we can get a hold of Sarah, we got a lot of issues.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to her to start out the list and then see where it goes from there. I'll get her the contact information for my electronics recycling company. That's it. That's all I
know
got.
that's
We're
a big
good.
problem,
Yeah.
because I got stuff I want to get rid of, you know.
Sweet.
It's,
Cool.
starts to get old.
I already took some of your stuff. I got all your speakers and your computer.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I met your friend, you know.
Yeah,
Every time I say, I got a lot more to give you.
I would really like to get Makerspace involved in this, just like the one lady who calls all the time and wants to do that tool exchange program or tool library. I want to do that stuff, and I
Yeah,
would like
I-
to be involved in
I
recycling.
took apart something. I'd like you to try to rewire it, but you're not good on circuit
We'll
boards.
see how that
are you?
goes. In here I have left will be,
You're not good on circuit boards, are you?
I'm okay. Plus we have guys that do that. So
We'll rub some aluminum foil around your colander.
I wear aluminum foil on my head. Goodbye. Good day.
And with that, we'll see you again next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.